Hey, what's up guys? My name's Kyle, and if you are new to the channel, welcome. There's a lot of videos. You can go around, take a look. I do a lot of projects, a lot of custom post frame buildings. That's my big bread and butter, but you'll find a lot of carpentry tips and tricks, as well as a bunch of reviews and thoughts on tools that I like to use on the daily to do my job. However, if you already are subscribed to the channel, I want to say thank you for joining in on today's video, which is going to be a little bit different. What I wanted to do today was take a couple minutes and just make a short video about the thing that I am constantly asked to talk about, and that is, how did you get into business as a carpenter? I never planned on being a carpenter. I was always going to be in computers. I love technology. I went to college and got my computer science degree. And upon graduating, I had a pretty darn good job at a local, believe it or not, construction company that had probably about 7 companies all under one roof, and I managed their IT department with another guy. To this day, I still miss a lot of those people. However, I love what I do now, and I would not have found it had my in-laws not been what I would actually say selfish and wanted me and my wife to move back home, not be in the big city. So what they did was they offered to sell us one of the family farms. My wife's family are big farmers. And so we bought a rundown farmhouse. It needed extreme renovation because it was in disarray. You could barely walk across some of the floors. However, for the most part, the bones of the house, the outside skeleton, was really good. It was that old traditional full 2x material balloon framed, built in the 1890s, and it just needed a lot of work on the inside. So we started down the path of remodeling it. My dad gave me a lot of those tools to do that, both in the physical form and in the knowledge that he had over the years remodeling his own houses. So after about 2 years of remodeling my own house, I realized that first off, it's a lot of work, but second off, it is super gratifying to see something start and finish in front of your eyes and know that you did it with your own hands. So I started to kind of, in the back of my mind, see that as a way out from the corporate world. I didn't really like knowing that my destiny was in someone else's hands. I didn't really like to know that I wasn't going to get a raise unless my boss saw fit. I kind of always knew that I wanted to be my own boss, and I found that through construction and remodeling, that might be my avenue. Now, it wasn't that I was like super passionate about it. It wasn't that I thought I want to do this the rest of my life. It was like, this is my option. This is my way towards a goal. I don't really know how it happened. I just know that I started to get some local friends and family members, people that went to the same church as me. People found out that I was doing it, that I wanted to do more of it, and they started hiring me for little jobs. I didn't know how to bid them. So I was working time and material. I just came up with a number. I charged people by the hour, and I just said, hey, here's the material cost, here's my time. And that's a really good way to do it if you're getting into the trades, because you don't really understand what goes into projects until you experience that. Fast forward probably 3 or 4 years, I went and hired my first employee. I then hired another employee, and all of a sudden it was me and 3 guys, and we were building new construction homes. Things were okay. I mean, it was okay. I was kind of getting tired of the whole, I don't know, just the whole process of dealing with homeowners, dealing with subcontractors, you know, organizing and scheduling and all that stuff that came with the residential remodeling, new construction, I guess, style. And I was fortunate enough for my wife's grandpa to call me one day and say, hey, would you build me a barn? I have a guy that said he would build it for me for, I don't know, it was like $18,000. And if you can do that, why don't you just do it? I'd rather pay you than someone I don't know. Well, I didn't really know much about post frame. I'd never really done it. I'd done very little metal work, but I had a buddy who I went to high school with that done a lot of it in his career. That's all he really knew. And I brought him in for weekends, and he helped me do my first post frame, and it went really well. It was easy in a sense that I didn't really have to deal with cleanup every day in somebody's kitchen. I didn't really have to deal with going in and out of somebody's house. I didn't have to worry about disturbing them if they were busy. Like, I was outside and I just got to enjoy that time on that project so much that I started thinking, this is what I want to do. I need to figure out how I do more post frames. People noticed, people saw that. They reached out to me over the next year and said, hey, I'm thinking about doing a job. What do you think? And I just jumped in. I didn't really know exactly what I was doing. I learned enough off of that first job, start bidding jobs, not working by the hour, but saying, okay, this is my material package cost. This is how long I think it's gonna take me. This is the amount of overhead I have, whether that be machinery, insurances, and just saying, hey, here's my price. But the beauty of being self-employed is that you make up your own rules in a sense that you don't have to work 8 hours a day. You can work all the overtime you want. You might not get paid great by the hour, but if you put in enough time, you can meet schedules, deadlines, and put more jobs in front of you and make more money. But that is kind of the vicious circle. It's kind of like playing a football game where you keep getting first downs, but you never score a touchdown, and you can really burn out quickly. So fast forward probably 3 years after I did my first post frame, it really became clear to me that I needed to stop doing all the other stuff. I needed to stop being jack of all trades, dabbling in post frame, still doing some remodeling, putting some roofs on, and just focus on post frame. And I bought the first piece of equipment, and then the next year I bought another piece of equipment, and then the following year I bought another piece of equipment, to where now I own all my equipment. But it's taken since 2007-ish, yeah, it's about 2007 to get to where I'm at. So the point of this video is not to brag, it's to say that people are always saying, man, how did you get so successful? First off, it took a lot of hard work. I worked a ton of long hours. I still work way more than I ever would if I was working for the man on a 9-to-5 job. But the beauty is that's my choice. While I can, while I want to, while the work is there, as long as I'm not taking away from my family time, as long as I'm being present when I am there with my family, but when I'm at work, I'm present and I'm busting my tail, I'm gonna keep doing it, and I love it. So if you're a young person out there and you're thinking, but how do I get into it, Kyle? First off, I would say maybe dabble, maybe do some projects around the house. If it's something you really like and you don't really have the motivation, or maybe you just are scared to go out on your own and start your own business, go find a carpenter that will hire you. And I promise you there's a lot out there, because it's hard to find good young people that want to work hard. And you go ask questions. You go and do everything that you can to learn as much as you can. When you feel like it's the right time, you can go out on your own and have the knowledge to at least feel good about what you're doing, but don't think it's gonna come easy, and don't think that it's gonna happen overnight. Luckily for so many of you out there, we have things like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, all of these social media platforms where you can spread whatever message it is that you want to spread about you and your brand to whoever you want to in the entire world. And you can do it for nothing but your time. And that's what I found through Instagram and Facebook and obviously YouTube, is that I'm spreading my message. I'm trying to do my best to not only inspire and motivate people to do really good on their work, for clients to make sure that they're spending their money on the right stuff, not just hiring the cheapest person, but then also for me, I'm trying to share with my potential client, that next person that's looking for their project, to hire me and my crew because we do a specific job. We care about certain details and we're going to act a certain way. And I share that every day, knowing that if I put that out there, it's gonna come back and it's not gonna cost me anything but my time. You know, I think it's a great time to be a contractor. I feel like I probably just rambled a ton on this video, and I don't know if I really helped, but I think the most important thing is, even if you don't see or feel super passionate about what you're doing, I don't think that's what drove me initially. It was about being passionate about doing the best I could. So being passionate for what you're doing isn't the most important thing, but being passionate in whatever you do is the most important thing. And for me, it's always been about being competitive and doing the best I can It doesn't matter if I'm tying my shoes or if I'm putting up a post frame. I just want to do it better, faster. That makes me happy and drives me to keep doing better. Even if you want to be a contractor, even if you want to start your own business, know that it's going to take a little bit something extra, but it's totally doable. And all you have to do is start by doing. And that's the beauty of it. Most people, they don't do. They think, they have ideas, and those that act on those ideas are the ones that are successful. If you want to do it, go out and do it. Live the dream and do your best.